Hello friends, today's video is about 3 stages of a data analyst, and I'm going to tell about exactly those 3 stages that every data analyst goes through. So if you're in for this, let's get into it right now. Consider subscribing to my channel, that helps a lot. And in this video I'm going to be talking about 3 stages of a data analyst, that few things which are very common whenever you're hiring a new data analyst, or you are a data analyst yourself. I've been through all the 3 stages, so this is coming off from my personal experience. And so what I've done is, the 3 stages would be: first stage is when you are a fresher and you're trying to become a data analyst. So these are the common things that people usually go through. So try to avoid them, or try to take them in based on the type of suggestion it is. That's completely up to you. So the first is, whenever there's like a new data analyst, it's super easy to know, because the data analyst, the fresher data analyst, is all noise and no insight. And what do I mean by that? So it'll be something which is an insight for you might or might not be an insight for the person that is concerned. So it could be your manager, your supervisor, or the business owner. And in this specific one, the fresher data analyst would blab about a lot of things, thinking that he knows a lot. And in this way, they actually do those common mistakes, which is known as the amateur mistakes. And this specific phase, when you're joining in as a fresher, this is basically your learning phase. So in this learning phase, you're actually supposed to learn the current process, learn how things are currently being done, learn why they are currently doing those specific process, what's the thought process behind all of that. So this is your learning phase. And in the learning phase, it's good to absorb everything that is thrown at you, and do not radiate at all. So radiate means like asking them irrelevant questions, or thinking that you're giving a suggestion. So in that first phase, you're actually not required to give in any sort of suggestions. You're just supposed to take in everything that's being thrown at you. And the key points here in your first or the fresher stage is that you're supposed to put in the hard work. You're supposed to put in the right things, that is coming in on time, finishing the stuff on your and meeting the deadlines, being super transparent with your manager or your supervisor. So this way you form a good image, and they are willing to teach you whatever they have learned up till now. So this is the first stage. The second stage is when you're actually a mid-stage data analyst. And in this specific stage, I say this as like some noise and some insights. So what this means is, sometimes you'll give an insight that nobody knows about, but sometimes you'll give them noise that your manager is not actually looking for. So in this specific stage, what I suggest is following up with a process. So let's say if you're working on a project, and you figure out that, okay, these are the things that I find interesting and I should highlight them. So instead of blabbing it out to your manager or to your supervisor, follow this process. So this process would be: create a PowerPoint presentation, create an index in that PowerPoint presentation, make a note of all those big header points that are there in your insights report. So this way, when you're actually presenting the PowerPoint presentation, that hey, these are the insights that I found from this data set. That way, once if you have that index column, that index column helps the supervisor to literally chalk out anything that he feels is noise. So in this way, you know exactly the things that he's actually looking for, and what all points are considered as insights and what points are considered as noise to him. So the key point here is to follow process, don't blab. Whenever you find something interesting, create a PowerPoint presentation and create a story around it. So this way, your manager knows that, okay, he is easily able to weed out points that are not relevant and keep the points that are relevant. And the final stage is when you are a mature data analyst now. So when you're a mature data analyst, that means you are all insight, no noise. You know exactly what people are looking for, and you give them that exact specific thing that they are actually looking for, and there's no noise in it. So the biggest thing when you're a mature data analyst is the decision makers trust you. So the decision makers uh, take your words into consideration. So if you're saying that, hey, this specific way is not efficient for our business, they consider that, because they know that whatever he says, it's of value. So it's good for me to consider the points that my data analyst is bringing in. And now you understand the process, and this is the time when you can actually start training in other freshers or mid-career data analysts, and you would see them making those same mistakes that you were making a few years or a few months ago. So keeping a structured way, as like a mid-stage data analyst, so whenever you're presenting something, create a PowerPoint presentation and draft a story. So the story is basically starting off from the really high level and then going deeper into the small levels and points that are there in the data set. So this is what I've learned, and these are the three stages that I actually went through myself, and that's how I've learned all these things. If you watched this video up till now, thank you for that. I appreciate it. If you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing to my channel. And this is all for this week. So I'll see you on the other side.